from the chair demands a raft of explanations, including why the chair's password was allegedly used to access the results transmission system. Chebukati also wants to know why the satellite phones bought by the commission were not used to relay data from polling stations. Chebukati's memo, which is dated 5th of September, details numerous failures by the Secretariat that formed a key part of the Supreme Court proceedings. The chair also wants an explanation why the Kim's kit used in the election were not locked to specific locations as had been agreed. He also raised questions why some forms used in the election did not have security features as agreed between IEBC and the printer. The memo comes in the wake of sharp divisions in the commission following Chebukati's move to sideline key people in the Secretariat. All right, let's quickly take a look at the contents of this letter that is in our possession, the internal memo that was written by IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati to Ezra Chiloba. We'll quickly look at the highlighted bits of this particular letter. And with regard to the manner in which the Commission conducted the impugned presidential elections, respond and explain the basis for your contradiction. And that is the beginning of the letter. The second highlight, respond and explain what happened to the printed forms that were meant to have various approved security features and names of candidates printed in accordance with the ballot proofs and as verified by the due diligence teams the Commission sent to Dubai. Remember, Dubai is where the printing was taking place, the Dubai-based company Al Ghurair Printing Company. The second explanation that Wafula Chebukati is demanding from Ezra Chiloba is to explain whether the machines that was supplied, whether they were fit for purpose as contracted and where they were availed and why they failed to work, asking Ezra Chiloba to explain the failure of the machines that had been procured. Chebukati is also seeking an explanation on what occasioned the massive failure in the devices that would have been used in transmitting the results. Essentially, what really went wrong with the transmission of results in the August 8th elections. And finally, Chebukati is also saying that through his office, which memo confirmed the creation of a username account and a password in the name of chairperson of IEBC without my knowledge or consent, and subsequently this account was used to undertake over 9,934 transactions. This came up after from the registrar of the court when the Supreme Court ordered granted NASA the prayer to have or to access the IEBC server. So this is one of the things that came out, the access to the IEBC servers using IEBC chairperson's Wafula Chebukati's password over 9,000 times. Also, another explanation that Wafula Chebukati is seeking is what really went wrong with the Kim's results transmission, where over 10,366 out of 40,883 polling stations sent text results without the accompanying forms 34A, noting that these polling stations had 4,636,556 voters registered therein. Just an explanation on why the Kim's transmission system failed once again. Respond and avail. The seventh explanation that is being demanded is respond and avail an explanation as to why 595 polling stations failed and or otherwise refused to send any results for the presidential election. Chiloba would also be at pains to explain why the Commission adopted and used a porous file server system to transmit forms 34B instead of creating and using a secure IP address, which made it easy for individuals to manage accounts on each other's behalf, a clear security risk. All right, let's take a look at something else that we can point out from that particular internal memo that we have Respond and explain why mapping out was not undertaken and these issues addressed and or otherwise mitigated. So these are some of the things that Wafula Chebukati is seeking to know or to understand, or seeking tough explanations from IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba. The 10th explanation that is demanded is a response on how many voters were subsequently allowed to vote by manual identification and why. IEBC's Ezra Chiloba, let's just take a look at the final one. Lastly, respond and explain why